Bulgaria is one of the so-called transit countries in the refugee and migrant crisis. Haskell region is a border region between EU and Turkey. The number of migrants and refugees passing through the countries varies. In August 17, there are around 1,600 in the national reception registration centers, around 600 only in Harmanli. Because of its location, the region has 2 registration reception centers for refugees and a detention center for foreigners. The center in Harmanli accommodates the largest number of asylum seekers. So since the beginning of the migrant crisis, there has been a variety of activities provided by NGOs and the civil society in support of refugees. We are starting with Jill Clesby's activities. She has been a volunteer for 4 years and run the play school for 3 years.
I heard in the local news about the refugee centre in Harmanli opening up, and realised where it was, and I would drive past it to go and do my shopping, and every time I went past I felt I should help. Maybe there's people in there that could do with some help and I could be useful. And then I searched on the internet and found your name and contacted you, and you said that you were just about to start going into the camp, and would I like to come along on the next Saturday to help out, hand out food and toiletries for the refugees. And so that was how I started.
So I started volunteering in 2013 in autumn. I had never planned that. Although I knew there were refugees in Bulgaria, I thought they were a very small number and probably NGOs were taking care of them. At some point, a friend contacted me and she said she was interested in helping and asked me with some help to find some place, to collect donations, to find some information, to call this one or Red Cross, and this is how I got involved. And at some point, Jill contacted me on Facebook, and she said she wanted to volunteer, and we went together with some other people to give out the first big donation there. And after that, we just stayed, the two of us, and we became probably the most regular volunteers in the camp. So when Harmanli camp was open and it was so big and there were thousands of people needing help there, then I decided to focus my efforts on this refugee camp.
But once I stepped into the camp in Harmanli, I realised it was such a big problem, and they needed lots of help. There were lots and lots of people, and there was nothing set up for them. They were in buildings that didn't work, had no electricity, no flushing toilets. Things were terrible for thousands of mainly Syrian refugees. Slowly but surely, things did start to improve, and I decided I wanted to concentrate on the children because that was my strength. I had worked with children all my time in England, and I had studied play in children as a therapeutic choice for children.
Jill and I started going there 2-3 times per week. And on the second time we went there, we were just two of us, and we were surrounded by a group of young men, and they said, from the refugees, they said, we have nothing to do here and we are going crazy, so we need something to do. And that was very good news for us because we needed someone to help. So we found a room in the camp, and we got the key for it. And we made the meeting with, we tried to invite people from different nationalities. And there were all Africans and Afghans back then, not so many, not as many as the Syrians. And we talked to them about what volunteering is. For many of them, it was a new idea, but they got the idea very well.
I had a very strong image of what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with the children, and I wanted to show them what school would be like in Europe, but I also wanted them to play, lots and lots of therapeutic play for them. We've had local people, foreign people from all over the world have heard about our school, have seen we have a page on Facebook, and have seen this and have wanted to help, and they gave us so much help to start with. They gave us toys, they gave us writing books, they gave us everything that you can think of that you could possibly need to start a school up. Sadie and I, we work on the play work philosophy, something we studied in England, and the importance of play and how important it is to vulnerable children. And we start the day with them having an hour of free play, so they can put dressing up clothes on, play with Play-Doh, play with cars, play on the football table. They can, what else can they do? Sit quietly and read books if they want to. And then after the free play, we come together, we ring a bell, and the children put the toys away, and they come together on the carpet in a big circle, and then Sadie will teach them some English and teach them to sit properly with their legs crossed properly and their arms crossed, and to listen, and all the things they need for going to school in Europe.
But then in maybe October or November 2016, I heard that an Afghan lady who is an asylum seeker at the camp wants to start an Afghan school, and she needed support. So this is when I returned to the camp, and I had to ask for permission to start this school and write a lot of explanations why we need to start it and how I can trust this women. And it's funny because usually people are surprised when they hear that refugees are doing things on their own. Refugees are not less intelligent or less knowledgeable than we are, so they could do wonderful things if they have support. And actually, we volunteers cannot be at the camp every day while they are there anyway.
Asylum seekers from the center in Harmanli founded and run the Afghan refugee school, aided by volunteers from the local community.
My name is Saliha, and I was a mathematics teacher in Afghanistan, and I also work for the women rights in Afghanistan. So as the situation got worse and we didn't have any option to live in Afghanistan, I lived there for 36 years, and I also work with the kids. So I decided to leave my country. When I left my country, then we came to Bulgaria, Harmali camp, and most of the time I was watching the young guys, the little kids in the corridors outside. Most of the time they were quarreling, sometimes physical fights, and then I was thinking about them. There should have been something for them. I able to found dear Lydia, and with the help of her and Omed, finally we built that school. From the beginning, from the first day of the school, Lydia is the one who is assisting her, who is assisting us, and who is trying to create a kind of relation between the locals and refugees as well. Our 2 miles of the school to create the school is one, to keep the guys busy, and another aim was to make them aware of the situation and of the modern life. We were able, and with the help of some other Bulgarian very friendly people, we were able to make some kind of tailoring classes for the women of the camp, of the refugees camp as well. Right now, most of the kids are studying in our school, and those subjects are like mathematics, science, drawing, Dari, which is a second language of Afghanistan, and as well with English. And for the adults, we have mathematics, English, and Bulgarian classes as well. I want to mention that all the things, the material that we have, it is possible through Lydia and with the help of IOM. And Lydia is the one who introduced the school to International Organization for Migration. And as well as she introduced the school to Red Cross and other organizations which are active in the camp. We will never forget her efforts for the school.
As Haskell region is located near the border of EU, no matter how long the migration crisis lasts, people passing through the obstacles in search of better life will always need the efforts and support of the civil society. A small number of short-term activities provided by the NGOs in the local community grow into substantial ones and contribute to the adaptation and facilitation of migrants, as well as to the development of community itself at local level.